Hello everyone, welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today, Marco, we're talking about something that I know you're a big fan of.
I am. We're talking about computer games, video games.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So we're going to be looking at some vocabulary and phrases related to computer games and video games, and this is actually a request from one of our users.
Awesome. So before we get started, we do have the name of the game that we're going to look at. So let's listen to that in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so the game that we're going to preview today is called Counter-Strike.
Okay, so first you have a strike or an attack,
Right.
and then you have a counter-strike.
So that's opposite attack or something like that, right?
So it's a reaction to the first thing that happens. So
Right.
you hit me, and my counter-strike is I hit you back.
And this game is actually very, very popular all over the world because many players are able to compete at the same time. So it's a shooting game. You shoot each other. You are the terrorists, and then the other team is like the police or the army or whatever.
Wow, sounds really exciting. Well, we're going to learn more about the specific vocab that goes with computer games and video games in a minute. But first, let's take a listen to our dialogue.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game? What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome! It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair! I don't want to play anymore! Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, we're back. So there was some really interesting vocab here. And so let's look at it now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so what kind of a game was this, Marco?
All right, this game was a FPS, or also in the dialogue we heard a first-person shooter game.
So our users might have heard this phrase first person before because it's a grammar term in many ways.
Right.
We talk about I do this, I can sing. That's the first person. But when we're talking about games, first person shooter means that what you do, you're doing as if you were the character in the game.
Right, so even the way that you're looking at the game, it seems like you're looking through the eyes of the character.
Okay, so you don't see the body, you are the body
You
of
are
the
the
person.
body, exactly.
So first person shooter. So shooter obviously means that this is a shooting game. What you do is you pull the trigger and shoot people.
Exactly. And as we mentioned, a lot of players are able to compete against each other, so it's called a multiplayer game.
Okay, so multi is a prefix. It goes at the beginning of a word. In English, that means many.
Many.
So you could hear multicolored or multi-ethnic.
Right.
And the meaning of this is that there are many different colors or many different ethnicities, or in this case, multiplayer, many different players at the same time.
Exactly. So in this game, many players can play, whether it's in a local area network or online over the internet.
Cool. So you actually have to have the internet, right, when you're doing this because you're using many different computers, so they have to be connected to each other.
Right. So, and that's our next word. You go online in order to play.
Okay, so online you've heard before. Online means on the internet. But in this case, the action of using the internet is called going online. So I want to go online to read my email.
Right. Or I can't go online. I don't have a connection.
My mom won't let me go online. I'm in trouble.
All right. So this is the way that you use it. You go online. In order to use the internet, you go online.
Very interesting. Well, the last word we've got here in language takeaway is a very important one when we talk about video games because many people are in this situation. They're hooked on video games.
Right. So if you are hooked on a video game or you are hooked on anything, it means you're kind of addicted or you're very, very interested in something.
Exactly. So I'm hooked on the TV show True Blood. I
Right.
love to watch it, and every day I run home so I can watch it. But is there a game that you're hooked on, Marco?
Currently, I am hooked on a game called Guitar Hero Metallica.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
When I borrowed your PS3, I was hooked on Bad Company.
They're great games. It's very easy to get hooked on video games.
Too easy.
All right, so that's all the words we have for language takeaway. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back in a bit.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game. What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome. It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair. I don't want to play anymore. Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, we're back, and we have a couple of phrases that we want to look at, specifically 2 phrases. So let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So what's the deal? You blew me off yesterday and now you're not even going to say sorry?
All right, so blew me off. What do you mean when you say you blew me off yesterday?
Okay, so let's take a look at the infinitive version of this phrase. So to blow someone off. Mm-hmm. And they all go together. It's a fixed phrase. Mm-hmm. And this means to have an appointment with someone, but to not go.
All right.
So we had a date planned, but he blew me off.
Okay.
What a jerk.
So
he didn't go.
But
I went.
Did he tell you that he wasn't going to go?
No.
Okay.
No. So it's a surprise. It's like you expect someone to come meet you or do something with you, but they don't say anything and they don't go.
So there's another word very similar to this it's to stand someone up, right?
Exactly. So he stood me up.
All
he
right.
didn't come. He blew me off.
Okay. Very good. Mm-hmm. All right. And what's our next phrase?
To waste your time.
All right, so the girlfriend in this case was like, you're wasting your time on these video games.
That means you're not getting anything out of this. You're not benefiting. It means that you could spend your time doing other things.
Okay. So if you're wasting your time on video games, you're not being productive.
Exactly.
You're not learning anything.
So your mother might say to you when you're a kid, don't waste your time on games. You should be studying.
Okay, or he wastes a lot of time watching TV.
That's a common problem.
All right. So let's listen to this dialogue again real fast, and we'll be back in a bit.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game. What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome. It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair. I don't want to play anymore. Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, so we talked about, being hooked on TV shows and video games. But this is actually a very big problem in some Asian countries specifically, right?
I've heard that. Actually, I heard that in Japan, Korea, and China specifically, there are psychological treatment centers for kids who are addicted to gaming. Mm-hmm. And so there's a big thing in the news in China recently where there were parents who were sending their kids to this treatment center. Rehab for games. And that actually they found out that the rehab center didn't know what they were doing, and they were giving the kids electroshock therapy to get them off games.
Really?
So the parents took their kids back.
That's scary.
It is scary.
But I guess it's a very popular thing in Asian countries specifically, right? To play online, to go online. There's a lot of other factors that influence this, but I think it is like everything in excess is dangerous.
This is true, and actually, some people have been using this addiction to be a productive use of their time. So you have some people who play a game called World of Warcraft.
And they win money.
And they win money and they sell things to other players all over the world. And so you have these kids in America buying toys and like shields and
gold
from kids in, for example, Indonesia.
Right.
And the kid in Indonesia is making money.
Right. And also, if they're really good, they go on to become professional gamers and compete in world competitions and also test out new video games. So yeah, it has its advantages as well.
Can you imagine what your business card would look like? Professional gamer.
Professional gamer. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this lesson. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or doubts, please come to our website, englishpod.com, and we'll see you guys there.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. To ignore someone or not appear to an appointment. Blow someone off. Difficult in an enjoyable way. Challenging. Defeat. Beat. Addicted. Hooked. Use more than necessary. Waste. Let's try that faster. To ignore someone or not appear to an appointment. Blow someone off. Defeat. Beat. Difficult in an enjoyable way. Challenging. Use more than necessary. Waste. Addicted. Hooked. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Blow someone off. I can't believe she blew me off again. Blow someone off. I swear if you blow me off again, I won't talk to you again. Blow someone off. You can't let him blow me off like that. Challenging. I like games that are challenging. Challenging. I was expecting something a little bit more challenging. Challenging. Everyone says this career is so challenging, but it hasn't been for me so far. Beat. Two guys showed up out of nowhere and started beating me up. Beat. Try and beat me if you can. Beat. I want to beat that guy up so hard. Hooked. He got really hooked on that game. Hooked. She seems to be really hooked on you. Hooked. Some drugs are so strong that you can't avoid getting hooked on. Waste. I have wasted enough time by doing nothing. Waste. I don't want to waste my time doing something I don't enjoy. Waste. He wasted so much time on a project that was rejected. Hello everyone and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an elementary level lesson in which we're going to talk about small talk.
That's right. Today we're going to talk to an old friend And so we're going to give you some of the words and phrases you need to talk about your past or talk about how you have been.
So let's listen to today's dialogue, and we'll be back in a moment to discuss it.
I hate coming to high school reunions.
It'll be great, honey. We will get to see your old classmates and catch up to see how they've been doing.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, look. There's Robert Matthews. Rob!
Hey, Bill. Wow. Great to see you.
Likewise, it's been a long time. This is my wife, Dorothy.
Pleasure to meet you. So, Bill, how have you been?
Can't complain. We have 2 children who are in college, and my business is going well. How about you?
You know me. I'm a dedicated bachelor. I never married, although I do have a beautiful daughter with Mary. You remember her. We were high school sweethearts. It didn't really work out between us, but I really can't complain either.
That's good. Have you seen Frank? I was hoping he would come tonight.
You didn't hear? Frank passed away last year.
Are you serious?
Nah, I'm just janking your chain. He'll be here soon. I saw him last week. He told me he would show up. Alright, we're back, so now let's get started with our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
The first phrase we have here in language takeaway is a very important one because it is the setting for today's dialogue. We are at a high school reunion.
That's right. So everyone knows what high school is, but a high school reunion is when you go back to your high school for a party, maybe 5 years or 10 years after you graduate. So then you meet all your old friends from high school. You talk about, how you have been and just meet up with everyone that maybe you haven't seen in a very long time.
Exactly. So a reunion usually happens every 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. It can happen at different times, but this is important because you can have many different kinds of reunions, like a college reunion or a high school reunion. I've even heard of some people who had an elementary school reunion.
Really? Wow. Imagine seeing your classmates when you were maybe 10 years old.
I couldn't imagine it.
All right, so we're at a high school reunion, and we are there because we're going to meet our old classmates and to catch up and see how they have been.
Okay, so this is exactly what you do at a reunion. You catch up with people that you maybe lost touch with. To catch up means to find out about what people have been doing since the last time you talked. So maybe
Right.
Marco and I were classmates in high school and we haven't talked in 10 years. I say, Marco, I want to catch up. I want to learn about what you do, who you married, where
Right.
you work, things like that.
Right, so when 2 people get together to catch up, maybe it doesn't even have to be a very long time. Maybe you haven't seen your friend for a week. And so you want to get together, have a cup of coffee, and catch up and see how the relationship has been going or how his work. So you want to catch up.
So you can say this in a very simple way. Let's catch up, or it's been nice to catch up.
That's right. All right, moving on to our next word. This guy, Bill, meets up with Robert Matthews, and they're saying, hey, wow, great to see you. And he answers by saying, likewise.
So it's good to see you. Likewise.
Right.
That means it's good to see you too.
So you don't have to repeat everything that person just said. For example, if I just meet someone new and I say, it's a pleasure to meet you, you can say,
I could say likewise.
likewise.
Because I don't want to say, it's a pleasure to meet you too. That's so many words. So likewise is a very short way to say all of those things.
That's right. So we were finding out about Robert Matthews, and he says that, he is a dedicated bachelor.
So a dedicated bachelor. What is a bachelor, Marco?
So a bachelor is a person who is not married, a person who is single.
A man.
A
A
man.
woman cannot be a bachelor. So a bachelor is specifically a man, and he's not married. And we often have a stereotype. That means we have an idea of what a bachelor lives like.
Right.
You know, he has only beer in his refrigerator, and he has many relationships and no wife. So
That's right. So a dedicated bachelor is a person who is not married and doesn't really seem to want to get married or any of this. He wants to stay single.
exactly.
Okay. And, to finish off, this guy Robert lied a little bit to Bill, saying that Frank had passed away.
That's really mean.
Yeah.
But this phrase "to pass away" is very important and something we should talk about. So what does it mean to pass away?
It's another way of saying he died. So
But it's nicer.
Yeah, it's a lot more subtle and nicer. So instead of saying Frank died, you say Frank passed away.
So you could say, last year my grandmother passed away. That's a way of saying that my grandmother died last year. But again, it's a lot nicer way to say.
Right, because the word died can be a little bit too direct and too harsh. So maybe saying my grandmother passed away last year, it's a nicer way of saying it. Okay, so that's all the language takeaway you have. Let's take a look at our dialogue again, and we'll be back.
I hate coming to high school reunions.
It'll be great, honey. We will get to see your old classmates and catch up to see how they've been doing.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, look. There's Robert Matthews. Rob!
Hey, Bill. Wow. Great to see you.
Likewise, it's been a long time. This is my wife, Dorothy.
Pleasure to meet you. So, Bill, how have you been?
Can't complain. We have 2 children who are in college, and my business is going well. How about you?
You know me. I'm a dedicated bachelor. I never married, although I do have a beautiful daughter with Mary. You remember her. We were high school sweethearts. It didn't really work out between us, but I really can't complain either.
That's good. Have you seen Frank? I was hoping he would come tonight.
You didn't hear? Frank passed away last year.
Are you serious?
Nah, I'm just janking your chain. He'll be here soon. I saw him last week. He told me he would show up. All right, let's move on now to 4 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So the focus of today's Fluency Builder is small talk. These are phrases you can use when you're at a reunion or a dinner, especially with people you don't know very well. So let's jump in and look at this first phrase. Great to see you.
That's right. So he says, hey, Bill, wow, great to see you. So this is a nice little opening phrase saying, wow, I'm really excited to see you. I'm really happy to see you.
Exactly. It means I'm happy. Look at you. Great to see you. You say this at the beginning of a conversation.
That's right. And actually, Bill responded by saying likewise. So we talked about this. He's saying, wow, great to see you too. Then he continues by saying, it's been a long time.
This means that these 2 people, they have not seen each other in a very long time. You can also say, it's been so long, or it's been a long time. That means it's been a long time since we last saw each other.
That's right. So Robert goes on to ask Bill, he says, well, how have you been? How are things? Bill answers by saying, can't complain.
Okay, so this is not grammatically correct. Normally you need a subject.
Right.
I can't complain. But when we're speaking in English and we're having a conversation like this, it's okay to say just can't complain as a phrase. So he's saying, how have you been? Well, I can't complain.
Right.
Or can't complain. That means nothing bad has happened. Things are okay.
Right, you're saying that things are good, they're not fantastic, but they're not bad either, so you can't really complain. So it's just a phrase where very directly you can say, oh, can't complain, everything's great.
So you could even say this about other things, like, I asked John how his job was, and he said, can't complain.
Right.
It means not great, but it's not bad.
Right, exactly right. All right, and obviously we saw how Robert lied to Bill by saying that their good friend Frank had passed away. And he said, are you serious? Nah, I'm just yanking your chain.
Okay, so this might sound very strange to a lot of you because a chain is something that doesn't really seem to fit in this conversation.
Right.
But yanking your chain, remember this as a phrase. It means I'm just joking.
Right.
I'm
just
not serious.
Kidding. I'm lying to you, I guess, right? So, but how can you use this in another context?
Okay, I could say, you know what, Marco, I have something I have to tell you.
And I say, what?
I'm leaving English Pod. I quit.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just yanking your chain.
Okay.
Or, no, I'm just kidding.
Right. So you're kind of teasing someone when you do this, right? I'm just yanking your chain. I'm just lying to you. I'm teasing you. I'm making you believe something that isn't true.
Exactly. So this is something you can use after you tell someone that you were just joking. So,
That's right.
I'm just yanking your chain. I'm just joking with you.
That's right. So don't try to translate it directly or literally because it's not going to make sense. So just remember this as a phrasal verb or a phrase in general.
Exactly.
All right, let's listen to our dialogue one last time and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
I hate coming to high school reunions.
It'll be great, honey. We will get to see your old classmates and catch up to see how they've been doing.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, look. There's Robert Matthews. Rob!
Hey, Bill. Wow. Great to see you.
Likewise, it's been a long time. This is my wife, Dorothy.
Pleasure to meet you. So, Bill, how have you been?
Can't complain. We have 2 children who are in college, and my business is going well. How about you?
You know me. I'm a dedicated bachelor. I never married, although I do have a beautiful daughter with Mary. You remember her. We were high school sweethearts. It didn't really work out between us, but I really can't complain either.
That's good. Have you seen Frank? I was hoping he would come tonight.
You didn't hear? Frank passed away last year.
Are you serious?
Nah, I'm just janking your chain. He'll be here soon. I saw him last week. He told me he would show up. All right, so we're back and talking about high school reunions. These are very popular in the United States, right?
They are very popular, and I think people often have them every 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But most people don't go to the high school reunion until either 10 or 20 years after their high school graduation.
Why is that?
I think at 5 years is very soon. 10 years is nice because you haven't seen people, but 20 years is really, I think, shocking because people can be completely different or they could be the same. But it's been, you were 18 when you graduated high school. Now you're 38 years old. You have this whole life that you've had. And so I think it's much more interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I guess people go to these things half because they do want to maybe meet up with old friends that they haven't kept in touch with. I think especially this was very popular before the whole internet revolution. Now everyone's in touch on Facebook and emails, and it's just so much easier to keep in touch. But before, you have to remember that, it was basically by telephone or by mail. So actually seeing a person 10 years or catching up with them was very difficult back then.
Yeah, we all see photos and videos now of our classmates, and so it's not quite as surprising when we bump into them later. But I think it is still interesting, though, because at least on my social networking websites, there are a lot of people that I don't have connections to. And so I look forward to my high school reunion when I get to see some of these people and kind of find out what they've been doing for the past 10 or 15 years.
It's actually very interesting, I guess, when you see how your classmates have changed, how maybe the one that used to be the nerd or maybe not very attractive all of a sudden is really attractive and has like a supermodel as a wife, or how these things work out.
Or the high school football captain is now kind of sad and fat.
Bald. So yeah, these are the types of surprises that people look forward to when they go to high school reunions. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Meet each other. Catch up. Have strong loyalty to someone or something. Dedicated. Also. Likewise. Deceive someone in a friendly or playful way. Yank your chain. The person who you loved in high school. High school sweetheart.
Let's try that faster.
Deceive someone in a friendly or playful way. Yank your chain. Meet each other. Catch up. Also. Likewise. The person who you loved in high school. High school sweetheart. Have strong loyalty to someone or something. Dedicated.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Catch up. Lisa's back from Holland, and we are having lunch today to catch up. Catch up. Hi, Jonas. I haven't seen you in a long time. Do you want to grab a drink after work to catch up? Catch up. I haven't seen my college friends in a while, so the party will be a good time to catch up. Dedicated. He's a dedicated husband and father. He's a real family man. Dedicated. She's a dedicated researcher of marine biology. Dedicated. We need to hire a dedicated translator once we start doing more business with Vietnam. Likewise. I told Edward I'd liked him, but he didn't say likewise. Likewise. My parents want me to get a PhD, and likewise it's my dream to become a doctor. Likewise. I ordered a mocha coffee and a muffin, and Janet did likewise. High school sweetheart. John married his high school sweetheart last year in a small wedding ceremony. High school sweetheart. Laurie stayed with her high school sweetheart all through college. High school sweetheart. Robbie and Vanessa were high school sweethearts, but they've both moved on and started families now. Yank your chain. My Uncle Tommy loves to joke around and yank your chain. Just don't take anything he says too seriously. Yank your chain. I hate it when people yank my chain when I'm trying to be serious. Yank your chain. Chill out, I was just yanking your chain.
In today's story, we'll uncover 5 powerful lessons about managing money. Lessons you might not learn in school but are crucial for achieving financial success. As we dive into Sam's journey, we'll also learn some new words and see how to use them in sentences. This will help us practice English in a fun and easy way. So, stay with us till the end. Once upon a time, in a bustling little town, there lived a 27-year-old man named Sam. One afternoon, he sat on the side of the road, lost in thought. Despite working hard for 5 years, his life hadn't improved. Sam wondered if there was a way to escape poverty and achieve true wealth. As he strolled by a grand mansion, something compelled him to step past the tall iron gate without permission. Little did he know, this daring act would lead him to a life-changing lesson about money. From afar, he saw an elderly man sitting on a garden bench with a cup of coffee in hand. This man was Mr. Hayes, the mansion's owner, a wealthy but humble and generous soul. Sam approached him, politely apologizing. "I'm sorry for entering without permission, Mr. Hayes." Recognizing Sam, Mr. Hayes was surprised by his sudden visit but welcomed him kindly, curious to know why he had come. Sam took a seat beside Mr. Hayes and began, "Sir, I've worked for 5 years, earning a decent wage, yet my life hasn't changed. I don't splurge, but I just can't seem to get ahead. Do you have any advice on how someone like me could become wealthy?" With a warm smile, Mr. Hayes replied, "Anyone can achieve wealth, Sam, including you." He continued, "I'll share 5 principles about money that you won't learn in school. Follow these carefully, and I assure you, you'll find yourself on the path to financial success." Eagerly, Sam listened as Mr. Hayes began. "The first rule," Mr. Hayes said, is to spend less than you earn. This is the foundation. If you don't master this, you can't move on to the other steps. For example, if you make $5,000 a month, set aside at least $2,000. If it's $3,000, save $1,000. Avoid expenses that exceed your income, whether loans or gambling. Even with a six-figure salary, without this rule, you'll remain in debt. Sam nodded thoughtfully, absorbing each word. Mr. Hayes took a calm sip of his coffee and continued. The second rule is to have an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Car repairs, a leaky roof, or even layoffs can happen at any time. Without an emergency fund, you're forced to borrow or sell assets at a loss, which restricts your options and adds stress. Think of it as your safety net, protecting your finances when unexpected events arise. Sam nodded again, appreciating the wisdom in this approach. Let's get to the third lesson, which is investing. Now, people like you might feel unsure about investing in a business or stock since you may not have much knowledge. So, the best investment you can make right now is in yourself. Curious, Sam asked. How, sir? Mr. Hayes continued. Take your skill set, whether it's carpentry, plumbing, or customer service. Invest your time, energy, and money into mastering it further. Learn where your boss sources materials or explore ways to market your services better. Use some of your savings to improve your expertise, attend courses, buy tools, or read relevant books. Realizing the value of these words, Sam looked at Mr. Hayes with newfound determination, regretting he hadn't learned this sooner. Mr. Hayes continued with the fourth lesson. Now that you're gaining skills, it's time to start earning more. Once you've honed your abilities, maybe you'll start your own business and your income will grow. You're no longer paid per hour but earn based on what you produce. The harder you work, the more you earn. The sky was getting darker, yet Sam felt no urge to leave. He was eager to learn the final principle. Mr. Hayes looked at him and said, and finally the fifth lesson, create passive income. When you've applied the first four principles, you should have extra money. Now, it's time to let your money work for you. You can invest in property, start a rental business, buy a franchise, or research other sources of passive income. Think carefully and choose wisely. How about it, Sam? Are you ready to take on these lessons? Mr. Hayes asked, ending the conversation with a gentle smile. Brimming with excitement, Sam replied, I used to just go to work, save a little, and hope for wealth to come my way. But I now understand that there's a real strategy, and I'm thankful, sir, for the invaluable guidance. Today we learned new words and sentences through this story about wealth and financial wisdom. Remember, learning English can be fun when you practice regularly. So, keep listening, learning, and growing. Make sure to like, comment, and share how this story helped you improve your English. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story, where we'll continue learning together.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something is usual or expected. Norm. The money that a country uses. Currency. The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid.
Let's try that faster.
The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Something is usual or expected. Norm. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. The money that a country uses. Currency.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Norm. What's the norm in this company concerning protocol? Norm. This is the norm, so you'd better get used to it. Norm. Delivery, McDonald's, and street vendors are the norms around here. Currency. Before I went to France, I had to change some of my Canadian currency into euros. Currency. What's the currency in this country? Currency. My country's currency is worth next to nothing in USD. Margin deposit. He decided to start with a margin deposit of GBP 100. Margin deposit. I can't believe that I can trade with USD 1 million deposit when I've only put in a margin deposit of USD 10,000. Margin deposit. One has to be careful with trading using a margin deposit because the risk of losing more money than one has are high. Split second. The gang members were closing in on me fast, so I made a split-second decision to run instead of fight. Split second. My heart pounded as I made a split-second decision and took hold of her hand. Split second. My split-second decision to try a trick on my bicycle in order to impress my friends didn't end well. Bid. The current bid ask for EUR/USD is 1.3998-79. Bid. I bought euros at an ask of $1.4235 and sold British pounds at a bid of $1.5001. Bid. The bid for Japanese yen and the ask for Hong Kong dollars are really good right now if you trade in US currency.
Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're going to tackle something that, well, it can feel like a total minefield, small talk. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to be turning those awkward silences into actual easy connections. I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're at a party, you see someone you kind of know from way back, and your brain just shorts out. It freezes. Like, what do you even say? How do you kick things off? That little moment of panic? Yeah, we've all been there.
And that feeling is perfectly captured by the first line from the conversation we're about to break down. It sets the scene perfectly for the exact challenge we're going to solve today.
But here's the thing, we're not just going to talk theory. No, the best way to learn this stuff is to actually see it in action. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to deconstruct a real conversation piece by piece and pull out the tools you can start using right away. So our little case study here, it's happening at that exact high school reunion. We're going to be a fly on the wall as two old buddies, Bill and Robert, reconnect after who knows how long. Really pay attention to how it flows. Okay, so it starts off super simple. Bill sees Robert and just goes for it with this really warm, enthusiastic greeting. He says his name, shows he's actually happy to see him. I mean, that's the perfect way to kick things off. Super positive. And Robert, he fires right back, just as positive. He keeps that good energy going with just one little word. Likewise. And trust me, we're going to get into why that one word is so dang effective in just a minute. And right here, this is the pivot. After that initial hello, Robert smoothly opens the door to the real conversation, and he does it with the most reliable question in the entire small talk playbook.
And this is a masterclass in conversational rhythm. Bill gives a simple, easy answer, and then, this is so key, he immediately throws the question right back. It's like a game of catch. He just passed the ball right back to Robert.
So that whole back and forth, it felt totally natural, right? Well, that's because it's built on these awesome key phrases that are basically conversational cheat codes. Let's break down these secret weapons one by one. All right, first up, that initial exchange. Bill throws out, "Great to see you," and Robert comes back with that super slick one-word answer, "Likewise." Okay, so likewise is it's a wonderfully efficient word, isn't it? It basically says, hey, I feel the exact same way, without making the other person wait while you stumble through saying, "It's great to see you too." And here's the really important part. It's not just about agreeing. It's about getting in sync. When you say likewise, you're sending this quick, polite signal that says, yep, we're on the same page. Let's do this. Okay, moving on. Let's look at that next bit. We have the classic question, how have you been? And it gets the equally classic response, can't complain. So what does can't complain really mean? It's a signal that, things are generally okay. It kind of says, hey, life's not perfect, but it's not bad either. It's that perfect middle-of-the-road answer that just keeps things light and moving. You should really think of this as your go-to response when you just want to keep things easy and positive. It answers the question, but it doesn't drag the conversation down into a long story about your problems, which is exactly what you want to avoid in the first minute of small talk. Okay, whoa, things take a pretty dramatic turn right here. Robert drops this bombshell joke about someone passing away, but then he immediately pulls back and reveals it's not true by saying, nah, I'm just yanking your chain. Yanking someone's chain, it's such a great idiom. It just means you're joking around, you're teasing them, you're messing with them a little bit, making them believe something that's totally not true. Now, the absolute key to using this one is timing. You have to say it right after you tell the joke. It's like a verbal wink. It lets them know, hey, I wasn't serious. And it brings them in on the joke so they're not left feeling confused or, upset. All right, so we've broken down the conversation, we've decoded the key phrases. Now let's wrap this all up into a simple little playbook that you can take with you anywhere. Parties, reunions, you name it. When you get right down to it, it's really just a simple 4-step dance. Step 1, greet them warmly. Step 2, ask a nice open question. Step 3, give your own short positive answer. And step 4, this is the most important part, always, always throw the question back to them. You got to keep that loop going. And this all leads to the biggest takeaway of all. Small talk isn't about having some deep, meaningful conversation. You're not there to solve world hunger or tell your entire life story. Its whole purpose is way simpler. And honestly, way more important. It's just about making a connection. A simple, positive human connection. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Now that you've got this playbook, what's going to be your go-to move? Your opening line to get a great conversation started. Figure that out, and trust me, you've mastered the art of small talk.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We always try to sift through the noise, bring you insights you need to be truly well-informed.
Yeah.
And today, we've got a really interesting pairing of sources. Maybe almost paradoxical.
How so?
Well, on one hand, we've got this great YouTube dialogue. It really dissects, social communication, specifically mastering small talk.
Okay, useful stuff.
Definitely. And then on the other hand, there's this compelling story that lays out some really foundational principles for, financial success.
Okay, small talk and money. What's the connection there? Seems a bit random.
That's exactly it. You might think, what do these have to do with each other? But our mission for this deep dive is to show how both are actually essential toolkits, for navigating life, for thriving.
Gotcha. So it's like a shortcut to getting smart on both fronts.
Precisely. A shortcut to powerful insights, whether you're, say, bracing for an awkward party or trying to finally get your finances sorted.
What's truly intriguing here, I think, isn't just the wisdom in each source separately, but that underlying common thread.
Which is?
Both give you intensely practical, actionable strategies. It's not just about definitions, It's understanding the mechanics of connecting with people and the principles behind, creating wealth.
Right.
So our goal is to pull out those vital nuggets from your sources, connect the dots for you, and give you clear, actionable insights you can use, like right away in your life.
Yeah, make it real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because knowing what to do is, well, it's only half the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Understanding why these things work,
Yeah.
the impact they have. That's where the real power lies.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's kick things off by setting a scene. I think a lot of us can relate to this one. The high school reunion.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Our YouTube source drops us right into this lively conversation. It's at a party, maybe 5 years or 10 years after you graduate, right?
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by all your old friends from high school. The whole point, the source says, is to catch up and see how they have been doing.
Okay. Now, I want you to picture this. You walk in, see someone you haven't talked to in ages.
Yeah.
Do you feel that little pang of anxiety? Like, what do I even say?
Uh-huh. Happens all the time.
Or maybe you wish you just had the right words ready to go to jumpstart that connection. If that sounds familiar, well, this deep dive is about to give you some really good tools.
That's precisely the challenge, isn't it? And it raises a really important question. What is small talk anyway? I mean, beyond just filling silence.
Right. Why does it matter so much in these moments?
Well, it's kind of the essential bridge. You know, it gets you to those deeper conversations. It often sets the tone for how genuinely you'll actually reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And the dialogue gives us some fantastic examples. Take the phrase, catch up.
Yeah.
It's more than just a polite greeting. It's really an invitation. Tell me your story. It literally means finding out what someone's been doing since you last talked.
So you might say.
I'm like, Marco, it's been ages. I really want to catch up, hear about your job, who you married, where you're working now, that kind of thing. And it works even if it hasn't been that long.
Totally. You can use it after years, or even if you just haven't seen a friend for like a week. It's really versatile.
That's right. And it's interesting how some of those really short phrases can pack such a punch.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like likewise,
Yeah.
Instead of the whole, it's good to see you too, you just say likewise. Boom. Signals the same thing, but super efficient.
Efficient, exactly. Yeah. Gets the job done.
Or if you haven't seen someone in ages, it's been a long time, or it's been so long, it just instantly acknowledges that gap, that shared history.
Sets the stage, yeah.
And for just a warm opening, you can't beat, great to see you. Just simple, genuine happiness.
Precisely. And speaking of efficient communication, how often do you get asked, how have you been?
All the time.
And a really common kind of revealing informal response is, can't complain.
Ah, yeah. Hear that a lot.
It's fascinating how that works, isn't it? It doesn't mean things are amazing, but definitely not bad either. It's that neutral zone. Things are just okay.
Sort of a safe answer.
Yeah.
It is. Maybe captures a bit of cultural stoicism. You acknowledge the question without, oversharing or putting on a big cheerful act if you don't feel like it. And it's totally fine conversationally, even if grammatically it's a bit informal. Keeps things moving.
I think that's why it works. It feels relatable. Now, the dialogue also had that funny bit, maybe a little tricky socially, when Robert says Frank passed away.
Oh, right. And then he says he was.
Just yanking Bill's chain.
Yeah.
Yanking your chain. Brilliant idiom.
Definitely colorful.
It just means joking, right? Not serious, kidding around.
Exactly. The source even gives another example. I'm leaving English pod, I quit. Are you serious? No, I'm just yanking your chain.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to translate that one literally.
No way. You'd get some very confused looks. It really highlights how important cultural context is in language, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Communication isn't just words. It's that shared understanding of nuance.
Uh-huh. And moving beyond just phrases, the dialogue also helps us get a handle on specific social roles or life situations, which is pretty crucial for small talk, for showing empathy.
Like what kind of roles?
Well, take dedicated bachelor. The source explains it as a man who is not married and doesn't really seem to want to get married.
Okay.
It hints at the stereotypes, humorously beer in the fridge, many relationships, no wives. But really, it just means someone who's chosen to be single.
Got it. What else?
Then there's high school sweethearts. Pretty straightforward. The person you loved in high school.
Right. A classic.
And then for more sensitive topics, there's the phrase, pass away.
Ah, yes. A gentler way to put it.
Exactly. It's interesting how phrases like this help us navigate difficult news with a bit more grace. It's a nicer, more subtle way of saying he died. Like, my grandmother passed away last year. It softens the blow.
It's part of that social toolkit, showing empathy without being too blunt. What's really interesting is how the source doesn't just stick to individual chats, it zooms out a bit. Talks about reunions themselves, especially in the US.
Oh, yeah. What about them?
Well, I always just thought it was about catching up, but it points out these fascinating psychological reasons they're still so popular. They usually happen every 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But the 10 or 20-year ones, those are often the big ones.
How's that?
Because that's when people expect the shocking changes. Before the internet, when staying in touch was hard.
By phone or mail?
Reunions were crucial. But even now, with Facebook and email making it easy to keep in touch, there's still this huge draw.
Interesting. So why go?
People look forward to the surprises. You know the trope. The one that used to be the nerd. All of a sudden is really attractive and has a supermodel as a wife.
Right. Or the opposite.
Or the high school football captain is now kind of sad and, fat bald.
Yeah.
It's about seeing how lives actually turned out, comparing the memory to the reality now.
It's almost like live action storytelling, isn't it? Seeing those arcs play out.
Totally. Like a social experiment.
It's an excellent point. And, speaking of building a fulfilling life, while those social skills definitely open doors and make connections richer, solid financial principles, well, they build the actual foundations for that fulfilling life.
Okay. Good transition.
Yeah. Our second source moves right into this. It shares the story of Sam. He's 27. And his dilemma, I think a lot of listeners might recognize this.
What's the problem?
He's been working hard for 5 years, earning a decent wage, right? But his life hadn't improved, and he feels like he just can't seem to get ahead.
In there, yeah.
So he meets this guy, Mr. Hayes, who owns a mansion but is described as wealthy but humble and generous. And Hayes gives him 5 principles about money, stuff Sam says, and frankly, many of us, you just don't learn in school.
Okay, I'm listening. This sounds crucial.
It's really about shifting from just hoping for wealth to actively building it. A strategy.
That's such a powerful setup. So for someone like Sam, working hard but feeling stuck, what's the absolute first thing Mr. Hayes says he needs to do, the non-negotiable first step?
Mr. Hayes calls it the foundation, and it's simply spend less than you earn.
Okay. Sounds simple.
It sounds incredibly simple, right?
Right.
But he's clear. If you don't nail this down, the other steps don't matter much.
But why is it so hard for people, even people earning good money?
Well, it's often a mix of things, isn't it? Lifestyle creep, you earn more, you spend more, societal pressure, sometimes just not knowing where the money actually goes.
Yeah, easy to lose track.
Totally. The source gives real numbers. If you make $5,000 a month, set aside at least $2,000. If it's $3,000, save $1,000. That kind of guidance.
Concrete targets.
Right. And Hayes warns that even with a 6-figure salary, you can end up in debt if your expenses exceed your income, whether it's loans or gambling or whatever. So being conscious, budgeting, prioritizing saving over spending right now.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so once you get a handle on that, spending less than you earn, what's the very next priority?
The second principle is have an emergency fund. This is your buffer, your cushion against, well, life just happening.
Life's curveball.
Exactly. Think about it. Car repairs, a leaky roof, or even layoffs can happen at any time. Unexpected stuff.
For sure.
And without that fund, what happens? You're often forced to borrow or sell assets at a loss. That just adds stress, limits your choices. It's a downward spiral sometimes.
So the emergency fund is like your financial safety net.
Precisely. It gives you peace of mind. It protects your bigger goals from getting derailed by short-term problems. I actually had a friend, right after he set up his emergency fund, boom, car breaks down.
Oh, wow.
That fund saved him, kept him off the credit cards, let him fix the car without messing up everything else he was trying to do financially. It just shows how valuable it is, immediately.
That's a perfect example. Okay, non-negotiable. Now, this next one sounds really interesting, especially for people maybe unsure about traditional investing. Principle 3. Invest in yourself.
Yes.
What's so insightful about that, especially if you're hesitant about, say, stocks or starting a business?
What's brilliant here is how Mr. Hayes kind of flips the script. See, traditional investments can feel complicated, maybe out of reach for some.
Yeah, intimidating.
But he reminds Sam and us that our most accessible asset, the one with potentially the highest return, is ourselves. Our skills.
So it's not just about money investing.
Not initially, no. It's about shifting your mindset. Stop thinking just like an employee. Start thinking about growing your own value by consciously getting better at what you do, whether that's carpentry, plumbing, or customer service, whatever your skill is.
Okay, so how do you do that? What are the steps?
The steps are clear. Invest your time, energy, and money into mastering it further. He suggests practical things. Learn where your boss sources materials, figure out ways to market your services better, and crucially, attend courses, buy tools, or read relevant books.
So actively learn and improve.
Exactly. It makes you more valuable, maybe even indispensable, not just replaceable. It's a direct investment in your human capital, your earning power, regardless of what the economy is doing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you invest in yourself, you hone those skills, then what naturally happens next?
Well, once those skills are really sharpened, the fourth principle kind of follows naturally. Start earning more.
Because you're more valuable now.
Precisely. You're not just sitting there hoping for a raise anymore. You've actually built a strong case for one. Or maybe now you can start your own business.
Right.
The whole income picture changes. You move from just being paid per hour to your earnings being based on what you produce.
Ah, output-based.
Yeah. As Mr. Hayes puts it, the harder you work, the more you earn. But it's not just about grinding more hours, it's leveraging those better skills to create more value. And that naturally commands more money.
Got it. Okay, principles 1 through 4 are in place. You're spending less, have savings, invested in skills, earning more. Now you have extra money. What's the 5th lesson? The final piece.
This is the one many people aim for, just maybe think of as the holy grail of financial freedom. Create passive income.
Ah, making money while you sleep.
Sort of. It's about putting that extra money to work for you. Your money starts generating income without you having to trade your active time for it.
Okay, so what are some ways Mr. Hayes suggests?
He gives a few examples. Invest in property, start a rental business, maybe buy a franchise, or just generally research other sources of passive income.
Lots of options.
Yeah, but the key thing he stresses is, think carefully and choose wisely. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about making strategic, informed choices to build wealth that lasts.
Right, it takes planning.
Definitely. And Sam's big takeaway after hearing all this really sums it up. He says he used to just go to work, save a little, and hope for wealth to come my way. But now he gets that there's a real strategy.
It's that shift, isn't it? From hoping to actually planning and acting.
Exactly that.
So if we bring both parts of this deep dive together, it seems pretty clear. Whether we're talking about nailing small talk or applying these money principles, both are really about being intentional, about having a strategy. They're tools for building a life that's, more connected, more prosperous. Better.
Yeah, they're blueprints, really.
Right. The sources don't just give us facts, they give us actionable blueprints. And just like the first source said, learning English can be fun when you practice regularly. Well, financial success, or even getting good at conversation, it comes from that consistent, regular practice, applying the principles.
It really is about deliberate practice, isn't it? In all these different areas of life. This raises an important question, I think, for you listening right now. How often do we really apply that kind of thoughtful strategy to our social interactions, our connections, the same way we should be applying it to our finances?
Good question. Probably not enough.
Both are huge investments, aren't they? Investments in a richer, more connected, more fulfilling life. So maybe after hearing this, you'll try out one of those small talk phrases next time you're at a gathering. Consciously try to build that rapport.
Or maybe take action on the finances.
Or maybe tonight, you'll actually sit down and figure out how to implement one of Mr. Hayes' principles. Maybe finally set up that emergency fund, or just map out one way you can invest in yourself this month.
Yeah.
So the final thought is this. Which of these lessons resonates most right now? Which one will you implement first, starting today, to see an immediate impact in your life? Think about it. And then, start building that better future one intentional step at a time.